The only thing that could possibly make me stand out on a campus full of thousands of blonde girls was what my other best friend Amber liked to refer to as my blonde rocker chick look. While most girls around here wore the cute pink look or the camo look, I preferred to take a darker approach to life. Almost every shirt I owned had some kind of rock band on the front, and I had both of my ears gauged out slightly. My hands were usually covered in rings, and I felt naked if I didn't have at least 5 rubber bracelets on each wrist. I liked my look, but Amber had always insisted I scared more men away with it than she could count. I grabbed my bag off the desk and headed out the door, locking it behind me. Seriously, Logan, I'm so sorry. I was sure that I would be up on time today. I guess I didn't hear my alarm clock again. He looked over at me and grinned. I wouldn't expect anything less of you. The fact we managed to end up in the same dorm is probably a blessing. Without me as your unofficial alarm clock, you really never would make it to class. I linked our arms together as we stepped out of our dorm and headed across campus to our first class. What would I ever do without you as my hero? I'm going to guess you'd be late every day. I elbowed him in the ribs. Thanks, Logan. You're the best. We made it into the building and found our classroom with only a moment to spare. Glancing around the room, we found 2 empty seats in the last row and quickly sat down, hoping the professor at the front of the room wouldn't notice our almost late arrival. As I sat my bag on the floor, I glanced at the guy sitting next to me, and my heart nearly stopped. I had never seen a man as gorgeous as he was in my entire life. Whereas Logan was all light and sweet, he was the physical embodiment of the stereotypical bad boy. His hair was so dark it could be considered black, and it hung down into his eyes and around his face in a shaggy yet attractive mess. I couldn't see the color of his eyes, but they looked as dark as his hair. I noticed that he had piercings in his eyebrow and his lip, as well as a few tattoos poking out of his shirt sleeves on both of his arms. As I stared at the tattoos, I wondered if he had any others hidden under his shirt. Not that I was the type to fall for the body modification bad boy type, despite my own appearance, but this guy could have worn his hair dyed pink and in pigtails and pulled it off looking hot. As if he somehow sensed my eyes locked on him, he glanced up at me. I quickly looked away, blushing furiously that I had been caught staring at him. I chanced another glance and saw he was still watching me, which made my blush deepen. He must have noticed it from the smile appearing on his face as I quickly turned away from him again. The rest of class, I refused even to look in his direction. I listened to the professor go over everything, taking notes when I thought I needed to. Before I knew it, class was over, and I was putting my books into the bag sitting at my feet. As I threw my bag over my shoulder, I noticed my hot neighbor already walking out the door. I stood and headed out of the building with Logan by my side.